Have you ever wondered why your family washes fruits and veggies before you eat them? Or why you learned growing up that it's not good to eat raw meat or egg products? Well, that's because your family is looking out for your health regarding food safety. It's important to implement safe steps in food handling, cooking, and storage to avoid contracting foodborne illnesses or food poisoning. You can't see, smell, or taste harmful bacteria that may cause illness, so it's important to follow food safety precautionary measures. In every step of food preparation, follow these 4 guidelines to keep you and your family safe from foodborne illnesses. The first guideline is clean. Germs that can cause food poisoning can survive in many areas of your kitchen, so it's important to keep all food surfaces clean. Make sure to wash your hands with warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds before and after handling food. Also, be sure to rinse fresh fruit and veggies under running water before you eat them. The second guideline is to separate. This avoids cross-contamination. Be sure to keep raw meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and their juices away from other foods such as produce. Use different cutting boards and utensils when handling raw meat, and be sure to sanitize and wash those cutting boards, knives, countertops, or anything that came in contact with those juices with hot soapy water, or you can sanitize the cutting boards and surfaces with a solution of 1 tablespoon of bleach mixed with 1 gallon of hot water. The next guideline is cook. Make sure to cook each meat or poultry product to its proper minimum internal temperature. A way to check this is by using an internal thermometer to make sure that the center of the meat has cooked to that minimum temperature. Take a look at this chart to look at the minimum internal temperatures for each type of meat product. For fresh beef, veal, lamb, and fresh pork, you have to cook it to an internal temperature minimum of 145 degrees Fahrenheit. For poultry and pre-cooked ham, you have to cook it to 165 degrees. Any ground products for beef, pork, veal, and lamb are 160 degrees, and ground turkey and chicken are 165 degrees. The reason why ground products need to be cooked to a higher temperature is because by grinding a product, you have increased surface area, which means there's more of a chance of bacteria or pathogens sitting in the meat, and so you have to cook it to a higher temperature to get rid of any potential pathogens. The fourth guideline is chilling or storing perishable goods at the proper temperatures. Perishable foods that have been out must be refrigerated within 2 hours, or 1 hour if the temperature outside is over 90 degrees. The refrigerator temperature should be 40 degrees or below. Your freezer should usually be at 0 degrees or below. Meat and poultry products must be wrapped properly to avoid leaking in the fridge. Also, it's recommended to put the meat on the bottom shelf to avoid dripping on any fresh produce. When it comes to storing canned foods, high-acid canned foods such as tomatoes, grapefruits, or pineapple can be stored unopened for 12 to 18 months. Low-acid canned foods such as meat, poultry, and veggies can be stored from 2 to 5 years. Now that we know the main 4 guidelines on how to promote good food safety, let's dive a little deeper into other aspects of food safety and quality. When it comes to thawing meat products, it's important to either put it in the fridge so that it can slowly rise to the temperature of refrigerated food, or using the microwave defrost option, which safely brings it up to the correct temperature without getting it too hot, or to submerge it in a leak-proof bag in cold water that you change out every 30 minutes, and then you cook immediately after thawing. It's not recommended to leave it on the counter because sometimes you can forget about it and it becomes too hot and it's not good to eat anymore. Date labels have always been confusing for consumers. Let's go through the different types of date labels so that you can be more informed and you can avoid throwing out food that's still good, but also avoid eating any food that might be spoiled. Best by product labels means that the product will be best in flavor or quality by that date. It's not related to purchase or safety date. The sell-by date tells the store how long they should display the product for sale and for inventory purposes. This again is not a safety date. The use-by date is the last date recommended for consumption while at peak quality. Again, not a safety date except for when it's used on infant formula. Freeze-by date is when the product should be frozen to maintain peak quality. Again, not a purchase or safety date. But the expiration date is the big one to remember. The expiration date is the last date the product should be safe to consume. From then on out, it's up to your judgment, based off of odor, consistency, and potential bacteria or mold growth. When in doubt, throw it out. No matter how tasty the product is, it's not worth consuming if it's past its expiration date and or if it smells or looks off. It's not worth getting that food poisoning. Now that we know the general rule of thumb on how to keep our food safe and of high quality, let's learn more about some of those foodborne illnesses and how we can prevent them from harming your family. While the U.S. food supply has been one of the safest and most secure and well-regulated in the world, the federal government estimates that there are about 48 million cases of foodborne illnesses or food poisoning each year, which result in 128,000 hospitalizations and 3,000 deaths. The most susceptible groups include the elderly, very young, and people with weakened immune systems. However, it's important to be informed about these illnesses and how they're contracted, and also how to avoid getting sick with them to keep you and your family safe. First off, there are 4 main reasons why someone would get food poisoning. The first one is through bacteria or virus. Some of the most common ones are E. coli, Listeria, norovirus, salmonella, botulism, and hepatitis A. These are the most common causes, but there's plenty more. The symptoms and severity also vary depending on which bacteria or virus you might have contracted. The second cause is parasite, or organisms that need nourishment and safety from a host. Common parasites include protozoa, roundworms, and tapeworms. The third cause is from molds, toxins, and contaminants. Most food poisoning is from bacteria, viruses, or parasites, but sometimes food poisoning can be linked to natural toxins or added chemical toxins. And the fourth reason is allergens. Food allergies are an abnormal response to a food that your body's immune system mistakes for a foreign body. Common allergens include nuts, milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, wheat, soybeans, and there's many more. Take a look at the chart to learn more about some symptoms of food poisoning, and if you experience any of these, seek medical attention immediately. Ways to prevent contracting a foodborne illness include keeping cold food cold or below 40 degrees Fahrenheit and hot food hot above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, don't eat uncooked or improperly cooked meat and egg products. Ensure your products have reached minimum internal temperature. By reaching this minimum internal temperature, you're killing all of the pathogens that might have been present in that product. This is also why dairy and egg products are pasteurized. Wash produce before consuming. Wash your hands thoroughly and wash all kitchen surfaces that these products have touched. Be sure to discard food products for any of the following reasons. If the food product had passed its expiration date, if it was a perishable food product that was out of the fridge for over 2 hours, or if it was a canned good that was either perforated or improperly sealed. Finally, it would help to get a vaccine for hepatitis A to avoid contracting in the future. This may seem overwhelming, but don't worry, there's plenty of federal organizations that are here to help prevent these problems from happening and keep you and your family safe. Some of these include the CDC and WHO, which are public health entities that protect people from disease transmission and outbreaks via public education, the FDA, or Food and Drug Administration, that ensures safety and security of the U.S. food supply, the USDA, or United States Department of Agriculture, that proposes and implements programs, policies, and regulations to the U.S. food supply and ag industries to ensure food safety. Within USDA, there's also some protocols to help promote food safety, including HACCP, or Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points Plan, which is a management system that analyzes and controls biochemical and physical hazards from raw material production, handling, manufacturing, distribution, and consumption. Basically, it's a detailed plan that identifies where things could go wrong food safety-wise on every step of the journey a food product makes from its source to the consumer and creates preventative measures to avoid anything going wrong. There's also the FSIS, or Food Safety Inspection Service, which requires federal inspection and regulation of meat, poultry, and processed egg products for consumer purchase, thus making sure it's of high quality and safety for you to eat. Food safety is quite important to the health of the general public. Now that you know how to safely work with various types of food at home, you can share this with your fellow 4-Hers and community members to help keep them safe too. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the UConn Extension YouTube channel for more educational videos.